Welcome, gents. The wise man does not chase time, he bends it to his will. Sigma males don't just grow older, they evolve, refine, and sharpen into something more powerful. Unlike most men who conform to societal expectations with age, Sigma males take a different path. They don't settle, they don't seek approval. They master the art of transformation, turning every lesson, every setback, and every challenge into fuel for their growth. With time, they learn to move in silence, cutting ties without explanation and walking away without a trace of regret. Their solitude, once misunderstood, becomes their greatest weapon. They no longer waste energy on pointless battles or meaningless conversations. Instead, they focus only on what truly matters, becoming sharper, stronger, and more untouchable than ever before. But here's the real secret. Aging doesn't weaken a Sigma male, it makes him unstoppable. His presence becomes more powerful, his words more calculated, and his actions more precise. The world may not notice his transformation until it's too late, but those who cross his path will feel it. If you've ever felt like you don't fit into society's mold, if you've ever questioned why your mindset seems different from the rest, this is for you. Watch this video till the end. You'll discover how time doesn't diminish the Sigma male. It forges him. Let's get started, gents. Number 1, they develop an alarming ability to read people instantly. As Sigma males age, they develop an almost unsettling ability to read people instantly. It's not just about body language or tone of voice, it's deeper than that. Their minds process information at a different level, picking up on the smallest inconsistencies, the slightest shifts in energy, the unspoken words hidden beneath forced smiles and rehearsed conversations. They no longer take people at face value. They've seen too much, been lied to too many times, and watched people reveal their true nature when they thought no one was paying attention. Now, they don't just listen to what someone says. They break it down, analyze the gaps, and recognize what's being left unsaid. Their eyes don't just see, they cut through illusions, exposing everything a person tries to hide. This ability makes them almost impossible to deceive. A liar can dress their words in charm, but a Sigma male will hear the hesitation in their voice. A manipulator can mask their intentions with kindness, but he will sense the insincerity beneath the surface. A weak man can pretend to be strong, but the Sigma male will recognize the fear in his posture, the way his confidence crumbles under silent scrutiny. It unsettles people. Being around a Sigma male feels like standing under an X-ray, like every flaw, every insecurity, every hidden agenda is being quietly studied. He doesn't need to confront or call out dishonesty. His presence alone makes people uncomfortable because they know he sees right through them. And that's where his power lies. He doesn't need to waste words proving someone wrong. He doesn't need to argue, expose, or warn. He just knows, and once he knows, he adjusts accordingly. Whether that means keeping his distance, cutting someone off, or using that knowledge to his advantage, the result is always the same. The Sigma male walks away smarter, stronger, and completely untouched. Number 2, their boundaries become steel walls, unapologetically. As Sigma males age, they stop tolerating anything that drains their energy, disturbs their peace, or disrespects their existence. In their younger years, they may have given people the benefit of the doubt, excused bad behavior, or convinced themselves that patience was a virtue. But time has taught them a harsh truth. People will take as much as you allow. So they stop allowing. Their boundaries become unshakable, reinforced by a mindset that no longer entertains excuses, guilt trips, or manipulations. There is no negotiation, no second chances, and no lengthy discussions. You cross a line and you're out. Simple. No warnings, no emotional outbursts, just a cold and permanent removal from their world. This shift isn't about bitterness, it's about self-respect. Sigma males refuse to waste their time explaining why basic respect is required. They don't chase after those who fail to see their value. They don't sit through conversations with people who think they can talk their way back into good graces. They set their standards and enforce them with absolute certainty. Some may call them ruthless, but Sigma males know the truth. Boundaries are the difference between power and weakness. A weak man bends, negotiates, and lets people test his limits. A strong man draws the line once and never moves it. And as Sigma males grow older, they embody this strength without hesitation. People quickly learn that a Sigma male's patience is not infinite. He is not here to be understanding of disrespect, carelessness, or betrayal. He doesn't raise his voice, doesn't argue, doesn't plead for better treatment. He simply removes himself and never looks back, because in his world, there is no room for those who cannot respect the steel walls he has built. Number 3, their indifference becomes their greatest shield. As Sigma males age, they develop a weapon more powerful than anger, revenge, or even confrontation: indifference. In their younger years, they may have felt the urge to defend themselves, to prove a point, or to engage when challenged. But experience teaches them something far more valuable. Silence is stronger than any response. People try to get under their skin, hoping to trigger a reaction. They insult them, undermine them, or test their patience, expecting an emotional response. But the Sigma male gives them nothing: no anger, no frustration, no acknowledgement. Just a blank, unreadable face and an unsettling calm. And that's when people realize they have no power over him. Indifference is his shield, his greatest defense against manipulation, drama, and emotional games. When people see that he doesn't care, that their words hold no weight, they panic. Their attempts to provoke him become desperate, their frustration obvious. They crave a reaction, because a reaction means control. But the Sigma male has already won the moment he refuses to engage. This ability makes him nearly untouchable. He doesn't waste energy on meaningless arguments, doesn't explain himself to those who don't matter, and doesn't fight battles that aren't worth his time. He knows that most conflicts are traps, designed to pull him into pointless chaos. So he walks away, not out of weakness, but out of sheer dominance. And that's what unsettles people the most. They expect resistance, they expect emotion, but they get nothing. No matter what they throw at him, he remains unmoved, unaffected, and completely in control. His lack of reaction isn't passive, it's lethal. It strips people of their ability to manipulate him, leaving them exposed, powerless, and frustrated. This is why as Sigma males grow older, fewer people dare to challenge them. They know it's a losing game. Because there's nothing more dangerous than a man who simply does not care. Number 4, they stop giving second chances. One strike and you're out. As Sigma males age, they develop a level of clarity that younger men often lack. They've seen enough, experienced enough, and been burned enough to know that giving second chances is almost always a mistake. In their younger years, they may have believed in redemption, in the idea that people could change if given the opportunity. But experience has shown them the truth. Most people don't change. They just get better at masking their true nature. Because of this, Sigma males stop tolerating betrayal, dishonesty, or disloyalty. There are no warnings, no drawn-out discussions, no opportunities for manipulation. One mistake, one sign of disrespect, and you're gone. It doesn't matter how long you've known them, what excuses you have, or how much you beg for another chance. Once trust is broken, there is no repairing it. A Sigma male won't fight, won't argue, won't even explain his decision. He will simply remove you from his life as if you never existed. This isn't about being harsh or unforgiving, it's about efficiency. A Sigma male values his peace above all else, and he has no interest in surrounding himself with people who have already proven they don't deserve to be there. If someone shows their true colors, he believes them the first time. There's no need for further discussion, no need for closure, no need for second chances. People often mistake this for coldness, but in reality it's wisdom. A Sigma male knows that keeping the wrong person around for even a moment longer than necessary is a risk he isn't willing to take. He trusts his instincts, moves on without hesitation, and never looks back. Because at the end of the day, he owes no one an explanation for protecting his energy, his trust, and his time. Number 5, they become comfortable with being misunderstood. As Sigma males age, they stop explaining themselves. They no longer waste time trying to correct misconceptions or prove who they are. If people misunderstand them, so be it. They've learned that most people don't listen to understand. They listen to respond, to judge, or to fit others into the narratives they already believe. Explaining is a wasted effort, and a Sigma male has no interest in wasting anything, especially his time. In their younger years, they may have tried to clarify their thoughts, their choices, or their way of life. But experience teaches them that most people only see what they want to see. Some assume the Sigma male is arrogant because he doesn't seek approval. Others think he's cold because he doesn't engage in meaningless social rituals. Some even believe he's weak because he refuses to participate in ego-driven battles. None of it matters to him. He no longer seeks validation, nor does he care to correct those who misunderstand his silence for submission. This shift in mindset gives him a rare kind of freedom. He doesn't carry the burden of trying to be understood, which means he moves without limits, without the need for permission. He lets his actions speak, and those who are wise enough to see the truth will understand without him having to say a word. The rest, they can believe whatever they like. It makes no difference to him. This ability to be misunderstood and remain unbothered is what makes a Sigma male untouchable. People's opinions hold no weight in his world. He answers to no one, explains himself to no one, and allows only a select few to truly know him. True understanding, he realizes, is not something he owes anyone. It's a privilege, and one that very few will ever earn. Number 6, they master the art of disappearing, even in plain sight. As Sigma males age, they refine a skill that makes them even more enigmatic, the ability to disappear without actually going anywhere. In their younger years, they may have physically withdrawn from society, distancing themselves to find solitude and peace. But as they evolve, they realize they no longer need to remove themselves to be unseen. Instead, they master the ability to exist in the background, unnoticed, yet fully aware of everything happening around them. They don't draw attention to themselves, and they don't engage unless absolutely necessary. Their energy is controlled, their presence subtle. They walk into a room and move with such effortless detachment that people overlook them until they choose to make themselves known. While others fight for recognition, they sit back, watching, analyzing, gathering information. They see what others miss, hear what isn't said, and understand the true dynamics at play. This ability makes them incredibly dangerous in the best way possible. They aren't just silent observers, they are strategists. They read people, decode their intentions, and anticipate moves before they happen. While others act impulsively, exposing their thoughts and weaknesses, a Sigma male remains a step ahead, knowing when to stay hidden and when to strike. Because of this, they become almost ghost-like. One moment they're part of a conversation, the next they've vanished, leaving no trace of themselves behind. They don't need to announce their exits, they don't explain their movements, and they don't seek closure. They appear when necessary, disappear when it suits them, and remain impossible to pin down. This is what makes them so unpredictable. No one knows where they stand, what they're thinking, or when they'll resurface. And in a world where everyone is desperate to be seen, the Sigma male's ability to remain unseen is what makes him the most powerful person in the room. Number 7, their presence becomes unsettlingly powerful. There's something different about an older Sigma male. He doesn't seek attention, yet when he walks into a room, people feel his presence before he even speaks. It's not arrogance, not forced dominance, but a quiet, unshakable confidence that makes others take notice. His energy is sharp, controlled, and unreadable, leaving people unsure whether to admire him or fear him. And that's exactly how he likes it. Unlike younger men who try to prove themselves through loud words or exaggerated gestures, the seasoned Sigma male has nothing to prove. He's seen too much, learned too much, and mastered the art of moving in silence. He doesn't seek validation or approval, which unnerves those who rely on social status, groupthink, or fake bravado to feel important. His indifference exposes their insecurities without him saying a word. People find themselves drawn to him, but they can't explain why. His stillness is commanding, his gaze is sharp, and his mind is always calculating. He listens more than he speaks, and when he does talk, every word carries weight. He doesn't waste breath on small talk or empty flattery, and that makes his presence even more powerful. Those who thrive on shallow interactions find themselves uneasy around him, sensing that he sees through their masks. This effect only intensifies with age. The older he gets, the more refined his aura becomes. His movements are deliberate, his reactions controlled, and his focus unbreakable. He doesn't force his will onto others, he doesn't need to. His mere existence shifts the atmosphere, creating a quiet tension that demands respect. Those who understand power recognize it instantly. Those who don't are left confused, intimidated, or even resentful. This is the transformation that separates a Sigma male from the rest. His power isn't in what he says or does, it's in what he is. Number 8, their mind becomes their strongest weapon. As Sigma males age, they begin to understand that true power isn't physical, it's mental. In their younger years, they may have relied on strength, persistence, or sheer willpower to push through obstacles, but with time, they realize that brute force has its limits. The mind, however, is limitless. While others burn themselves out trying to dominate through aggression or authority, the Sigma male learns to dominate through strategy. He doesn't react, he calculates. He doesn't confront, he maneuvers. He doesn't waste time proving his strength. He proves his intelligence through results. His ability to observe and analyze becomes sharper. He starts seeing patterns in people's behavior, recognizing weaknesses without them ever speaking a word. He understands what drives people, what makes them tick, and more importantly, what makes them break. This gives him an edge in any situation, whether in business, relationships, or personal conflicts. While others play checkers, he plays chess, thinking 5 moves ahead while everyone else focuses on the present moment. This shift makes him nearly untouchable. No one can predict his next move because he never acts on impulse. He lets people think they have the upper hand, lets them underestimate him, only to outmaneuver them at the last moment. He doesn't chase victories, he ensures them. His patience, his silence, his ability to remain unreadable all serve one purpose: control. He dictates the flow of situations without ever appearing to be in control. With this transformation, he no longer fears challenges. He welcomes them. He knows that intelligence isn't about knowing all the answers, but knowing how to find them. And while others rely on power that fades with age, his weapon only becomes sharper, making him more formidable with each passing year. Number 9, they develop an obsession with efficiency. As Sigma males age, they begin to see the world differently. The distractions, the noise, the unnecessary obligations, all of it becomes painfully obvious. They realize that most people waste their lives on things that don't matter, chasing approval, engaging in pointless conflicts, and pouring energy into dead-end relationships. But a Sigma male has no interest in wasting time. He understands that time is the only thing he can never get back, and with age, he becomes ruthless in how he spends it. Everything in his life is evaluated through one simple question: does this serve a purpose? If the answer is no, it's gone. He eliminates meaningless conversations, avoids people who drain his energy, and refuses to entertain activities that don't bring real value. He doesn't explain himself, doesn't argue, and doesn't look back. He simply moves forward with precision. This obsession with efficiency affects everything he does. His work becomes sharper, his routines more streamlined, his relationships more selective. He doesn't waste time proving a point to people who don't matter. He doesn't engage in drama. He doesn't chase trends or social approval. Every move he makes is calculated, intentional, and done with a clear purpose. Even his emotions are refined. He no longer reacts impulsively to things that once triggered him. Instead, he observes, assesses, and responds only when necessary. His presence becomes sharper, his speech more direct, his actions more impactful. People might not understand why he operates this way, but they can't deny that everything he does works. A younger Sigma might have spent time figuring out who he is. But an older Sigma has already arrived. There's no hesitation, no wasted effort, no distractions, just purpose. And because of that, he becomes unstoppable. Number 10. They outgrow ego battles. As Sigma males age, they step out of the pointless game that consumes most men, the battle of egos. In their younger years, they may have been challenged, provoked, or even tempted to prove themselves in unnecessary conflicts, but with time they realize the truth. Real power doesn't need validation. They see men wasting energy trying to outshine each other, flexing status, arguing over meaningless opinions, and fighting for dominance in spaces that don't even matter. They recognize these battles for what they are: distractions. They serve no purpose other than feeding fragile egos, and the Sigma male refuses to participate. He doesn't need to be the loudest in the room, doesn't care about being right, and has no interest in proving his worth to anyone. He knows exactly who he is, and that alone is enough. This is what makes him so different. While others fight for attention, he moves in silence. While they argue for respect, he commands it without saying a word. While they waste time proving strength, he refines his mind, sharpens his instincts, and builds something lasting. His presence alone unsettles those still trapped in ego battles because they can't figure him out. He doesn't seek approval, doesn't react to provocation, and doesn't play their games. And that, ironically, makes him more powerful than all of them. The older he gets, the less interested he becomes in anything that doesn't serve his growth. He knows that men who need to prove themselves are still ruled by insecurity. True confidence requires nothing, and by choosing to walk away from the noise, from the competition, from the desperate need to be seen, he wins without ever lifting a finger. Number 11. They no longer entertain the idea of fixing others. There was a time when Sigma males believed they could help people see the light. They saw potential in others, even when it was buried under layers of self-doubt, bad decisions, and excuses. They offered advice, extended a helping hand, and sometimes even sacrificed their own peace trying to pull others out of their own chaos. But over time, they learned a hard truth. Most people don't want to be saved. They don't want real change. They want comfort, validation, and someone to blame when their life remains stagnant. With age, Sigma males stop trying to be the guide for people who refuse to walk. They recognize that transformation is a personal journey, one that requires genuine effort and a willingness to face the uncomfortable. If someone isn't willing to take responsibility for their own growth, no amount of encouragement, wisdom, or patience will make a difference. Sigma males see this clearly and make a simple but profound decision. They let people be who they are. No interventions, no second chances, no wasted words. This shift isn't about cruelty or selfishness. It's about efficiency. Every moment spent trying to fix someone who refuses to change is energy taken away from their own evolution. Sigma males choose to invest in themselves instead. They build, they refine, they move forward. If someone genuinely seeks change and proves it through action, they may offer guidance, but they never force it, and they never beg. This is why, as they age, their circles shrink, their patience thins, and their tolerance for excuses disappears. They don't chase, they don't convince, and they don't linger. They've learned that people either rise to their level or fade into the background, and for a Sigma male, either outcome is perfectly fine. So gents, remember, aging doesn't soften the Sigma male, it sharpens him. Every lesson, every betrayal, every moment of solitude refines him into something unshakable. He no longer seeks approval, no longer explains, no longer entertains anything beneath his standards. His presence becomes a force, his absence a statement, his silence a weapon. But this transformation isn't about arrogance, it's about mastery. Mastery of self, of energy, of time. He learns that not everyone deserves access to him. He stops justifying his choices, stops giving chances to those who have already shown their true colors. He moves with precision, cuts without hesitation, and builds without distractions. And the most powerful part? He does all of this without noise, without ego, without the need to be seen. The world may not understand him, but that was never his goal. He isn't here to be understood. He's here to exist on his own terms. So if you resonate with this path, embrace it. Let time shape you. Let experience harden your instincts. And let wisdom be your guide. Never explain, never beg, never lower your standards for anyone. Become the man who moves in silence, but whose presence is impossible to ignore. Because when you reach that level, you won't have to prove anything. Your existence alone will be enough. Thank you for watching, gents, and God bless you.